Wade and Victor Oladipo, and saying that Anthony Edwards, he's got a 7-foot wingspan. He can be an excellent defender. Mike Schmitz did a fabulous breakdown of what Anthony Edwards can be on the defensive end when he's locked in and focused on it. And I think he can be even better offensively with his shot. If his shot selection improves, if he gets to the rim even more, which will lead him to more free throws and higher percentage shots.
Anthony Edwards. Well, the shot selection and decision-making is always the question with this young man, but I think that same piece that Mike Schmitz did with him, Jay, that you referenced, he was very aware of some of the decisions he didn't make properly. Kind of desire to watch film, to learn from it, to get better. Because he has all the physical tools, he's still a young man learning the game on both ends. Because defensively, he even said sometimes he just kind of checked out on that end of the floor.
I'm doing the Peloton every day, but as Doc Rivers said to me several months ago when we were on some Zoom call, he had said, I work out every day. I work out 5 days a week, but my refrigerator's open 7 days a week.
That's how it works, man. Anthony Edwards, potential #1 overall pick. Now in some shooting drills, step back threes he's hitting, showing some range. I mean, he hasn't even come close to towing the NBA line. That might be the closest he's got, about a foot back, and he's knocking them down. This is a young man that shot just over 29% from the three-point line. Tom Crean heading into his 3rd season. He had Anthony Edwards commit before his 2nd season. And part of the reason was because of Coach Crean's pedigree and some great players he had, Dwayne Wade, Victor Oladipo being 2 of them. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to ask you not so much about Anthony's game, but from the intangible standpoint. You've been around some of the dynamic guards and players in the last 10 or 20 years in the NBA, and so many great players overall. What kind of intangibles does this young man have measured up to some of the greats?
Well, compared to some of the guys that I've had, starting with Dwayne Wade and Victor Oladipo, I think the comparison that I would make is that they are all 3 of them are tremendous teammates. And for Anthony to be the kind of teammate that he is at his age, and playing the entire year at 18, is incredible. The work ethic is beyond belief, especially after games. And Dwayne and Victor were both incredible workers in college, and obviously carried that on to the NBA. And Anthony Edwards walked in with the same thing. I mean, I've never been around a guy that would go back in the gym like that at night and work on his game. And then the other part of it, and I don't use this word lightly, and I think it's so important in the characteristic of how he is. He's got great empathy. He loves his teammates. He's a caring person. His heart is amazing, and especially for his age and everything that he's been through. So those are some of the intangibles that are there that I think help make him the player that he is and is going to be.
You can tell that Anthony took coaching really well from Coach Crean. But with you, he asked a lot of questions. I thought his self-evaluation was great, and he really took constructive criticism well. Did that impress you? Because you've done a million of those interviews.
He was incredible. One of my favorite ones, just because he can light up a room with his personality. He's vivacious. He's very charismatic, and he was curious. He wanted to learn more, and it's very rare that you see that from a player of his stature.
You see that athleticism. I've seen him in the game. He's super smart. He can make the right reads. He can pass. He can score. He's just a great player.
Any advice that you would give him as he goes through this process? You are a very highly regarded prospect yourself. He's going to go through maybe some similar things. What advice would you give him?
Just to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on getting better. Focus on the things that matter. And that's getting better every day and making sure you're ready for the games when they start. That's really what matters.
Anything you remember about your pre-draft process?
I remember being nervous. Especially in this environment. When you have everybody watching, you just want to be perfect. And he missed some shots today. He just wants to be perfect, him and Tyrese both. So I remember both being nervous, but just wanting to be perfect. So they're doing really good today.
Yeah, well, those nerves weren't completely warranted given the success you've had in today's game. So, Trey, appreciate your time, man, and best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Went through some of that top 10. I know you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton, outstanding guard. I mean, guys coming out of schools like Iowa State, people may not have had a chance to see him as much. And Jay, this may be your point right now. We're just going to watch him dunk a little bit to see the athleticism as we finish things off.
Yeah, it's a good way to finish, to leave this in a scout's mind. But, you know, it was timely to see Trae Young get interviewed by Mike Schmitz, because Trae Young, coming out of Oklahoma, he only shot 42% for that season. And there was a lot of question marks about his shot selection. He takes a lot of crazy shots. He doesn't make good decisions shooting the ball, stuff like that. And Anthony Edwards has faced some similar constructive criticism. The idea only shoots 40% from the field. But I think he's going to get better and better in his decision making and his shot selection. He had so much on his shoulders last year, but he's